Greetings folks, and I hope you're avoiding the suckheads wherever you are in collecting land. And welcome back to the channel for our first 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review of 2026. And today it's the turn of Soosoo Toys' take on Blade, aka Wesley Snipes, from the 2004 David S. Goyer directed sequel Blade Trinity. But before we dive into everyone's favourite vampire-human hybrid, I'd like to send the usual shout out to everyone who supported Go Figure in 2025, and please drop a like and hype on this video as it helps other people find the channel. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you're not going to miss any of the 1/6 scale news, reviews, previews, showcases, tours and all that other good stuff that we've got coming up in 2026. And I would also like to send a massive shout out to Jin's Toy Factory for sourcing me this figure. Now I'll drop a link to their eBay page in the description below, so massive thank you for that to them for finding me this figure. Let's get this out of the way from the beginning. Blade Trinity is my least favourite in the Blade trilogy. My favourite's always going to be the Guillermo del Toro directed Blade 2. I would have loved to see del Toro direct more. Don't get me wrong, Trinity is a lot of fun. Snipes was born to play Blade, and you get Ryan Reynolds wisecracking in a Deadpool style 12 years before he donned the red and black suit. And of course, you get Jessica Biel. Enough said. But what it lacks, it lacks the pop, the pace, the plotting, in my opinion, of the second movie. But as regulars to the channel will also know, I am a huge Blade fan. And I love the updated look in Trinity, so I wasn't about to sleep on this one. But enough of my Blade blatherings. Let's have a look at this box. Let's stop it from spinning as we always do. We're going to have the usual format here. Quick look at the box, quick look at the accessories, figure, and then a showcase at the end. Box itself is a relatively simple design. It's a shoebox design. What you've got on the front here is what looks to me not like the figure. This looks like it may very well be a picture of Snipes himself. Not 100% certain, but I don't think that's the figure. You've got beads of sweat running down here. It's done in this red, black with a hint of grayscale on the face itself. Looks really, really good. Really impressive. Says Vampire Hunter at the bottom there in red. Obviously unlicensed product, as with all 90% of Soosoo toys. In fact, pretty much all of them actually are unlicensed, but they've done a good job here. I think it's very simple and very bold. Around this side you've got some more of that red effect going on. Around this side it's the rest of his bonds there with the tattoos on the side. On the bottom of the box it says Vampire Hunter. On the top of the box, Vampire Hunter again, relatively simple. And around the back we've got all the usual credits and warnings and do's and don'ts. Warnings at the bottom there include don't piss this figure off, or it might force you to ice skate uphill. When you open up the box, let's get this turntable out of the way. As I said, shoebox design. Pop the lid off there. What you are greeted with is this rather nice red and black inlay. Now that does look like the figure to me. You've got a profile of the figure itself. You can see the tattoos there, and he's clutching the two blades, and what looks like a representation of the tattoos in the background there. Nice little slipcover, this one. Pop that off, and underneath you have the figure with all the accessories, and you also get this, which quite surprised me actually. This looks, and I'm not 100% certain, we will open this up in the accessories section. I think this is the instruction manual, and really nicely done it is too. Very plush, very professional. So yeah, props to Soosoo Toys there for going all in with the instructions. So that's the box, folks. So without further ado, let's do as we always do. Let's get all these accessories out. Let's dive down onto the table and have a look at everything you get with your Blade figure. Okay folks, so seal's broken, accessories out. What do you get with your Blade figure? Well, I've got to say straight off the bat, I am really impressed with the quantity of accessories that Soosoo Toys have given us here. I'm a big fan of Soosoo Toys. I think they do some great work for a third party. Probably my favourite figures of theirs have got to be the Watchman trio. Had those a while in the collection and really liked them. But let's take a look at what they've given us with Blade. I was going to say let's get the mundane stuff out of the way like we normally do with figures, and let's take a look at the instructions. But as I said before, I think what Soosoo Toys have given us here is really great. Normally we get a little piece of If you get any instructions at all, it's a little piece of cheap paper, but they've gone all in here with a sort of magazine format instructions with this really nice picture of the figure on the front. And then inside, yes, the instructions are a little bit basic, but it's nice to see them making the effort, and it gives you an idea of what you can do with the figure and what's contained with it as well. So yeah, really nice to see that. So props to Soosoo Toys there for giving us this little magazine thing. So we'll put that to one side. Let's take a look at the hands, as we always do. You know me and my hand thing. No hands on the figure with this one. Bit unusual. So they were all in the box. You get 10 hands in total, 5 pairs, all for gripping the wide variety of weapons that we'd expect to see with the Blade figure. So let's grab a couple at random. We'll grab a relaxed one and take a close-up look at it, and it's pretty good, I've got to say. Yes, it's not the best black gloved hand in the world, but it's pretty good. The paint applications to give that leather effect are on point. You've got those studs down the knuckle area there, really nice. There's creasing in the palms there, and overall, yeah, they're pretty impressive. And worth mentioning at this point as well, I will be putting up pictures in the top left-hand corner throughout this review, so you can do your own comparisons with some screenshots. But overall, hands are pretty impressive. Flexibility test, yeah, we've got a medium there, softer medium, so probably no requirement for hairdryer or hot water in gripping any of these wonderful weapons. So yeah, you get relaxed hands, and as I say, all manner of hands for gripping all the weapons, and you get fisted hands as well, and they're all pretty much up to the same high standards there. So yeah, pretty impressed with the hands, so we'll put those to one side. What else do you get? You get a swap out jacket. Now it comes with the overcoat, obviously, but he also sported this look in the movie as well, and he had this sort of quilted jacket on, and it's great to see that Soosoo Toys have included this. And straight out of the box, I think the tailoring looks pretty good. They've gone for this sort of nylon material. It looks suitably screen accurate. It's got this sort of weave pattern in it. The stitch work is really nice. There's no loose threads hanging down. Overall, I think they've done a cracking job. There's a 6 scale zip in there. The collar is screen accurate and done in a cotton material. And overall, yeah, I think Soosoo Toys have pretty much nailed that one. So that's the spare jacket if you're wanting to use it. Let's talk weapons. You get a shit ton of weapons, as you'd expect with a Blade figure. We'll start with the eponymous Blade itself. Now, I didn't know straight out of the box this is actually metal, which has really impressed me. You've got the plastic sheath itself, which is pretty basic, just black plastic there. But the actual sword is full metal, which is great to see. It's got some heft to it. You could use this as a letter opener if you wanted to. Not too sharp as well. But overall, the blade is really nicely done, screen accurate, that straight blade there, no curve in there. And you also get the blades that slot out in the hilt itself. Now I'm going to try and do this on camera, and yeah, I think they're made out of plastic. You just get your fingernail in under there, and the blades themselves in the hilt will pop out, he said confidently. This one isn't wanting to cooperate. Oh, there we go. And all 4 of these should just come out like this. They are a bit on the delicate side, and they're a little bit difficult to get out, but once they're out there, they will they'll hold in place to prevent people from the wrong people from picking up his sword. Yeah, I'd say watch out for those. Quite delicate, but the paint applications and the sculpt on the hilt is really nice. You've just got silvers and blacks there, and you've got that symbol at the end. And overall, for a third party, I think they've done a cracking job here with this sword, and I think the use of metal is great to see. So that's the sword. Let's fold those pieces away. Let's take a look at the other weapons. He gets his 2 guns. Now, Blade fans will recognise these straight away. They've been used in the other movies as well. All sculpted plastic. Paint applications are pretty good. We'll take a look at one because they're identical. There's no cocking action on this one, but there is, I believe, a removable magazine, and you've got sculpted and painted in bullets. Great to see. No sliding action on this one, but overall, I think they've done a really good job here of replicating these weapons with that sort of heavy metal framework around the barrel section there, and it says 9mm X19 on there, and you've got the sort of brass paint detailing there, and overall, yeah, pretty good job there of replicating the guns, and there's 2 of them, which is great to see. So Pop those to one side. Talking guns, let's have a look at this one. Now, fans of the film will recognise this one instantly. Really nicely done. You've got that sort of grey gunmetal paint on top of the plastic there. The grip is really nice. No cocking action on this gun either, although it does have a revolving barrel, and I think this barrel actually comes out. Yes, it does. I'm going to be super careful with this because I have had no end of problems with chambers that come out of guns and not getting them back in. But you can see that this the light's catching this, that there's sculpted and painted bullets in there as well. So yeah, that's that revolver, and it's great to see that they've bored out the barrels. Regulars to the channel will know bugbear of Mr. Go Figures is when you see a handgun or a rifle and it doesn't have the bored out barrel. So nice to see that as well. And you get the shotgun as well. All black, this one. Once again, it's all plastic, this, and unfortunately, yes, we've got the problem here without the with the barrel itself not being bored out. So yeah, bit of a letdown, that one. But overall, the sculpt is pretty good. You've got a cocking action here, and you also get 2 plastic cartridges done in this sort of brass paint application with a deep red cartridge itself. And if you're wanting to, you can slot those in there. If you're wanting to have him loading it or just have it cocked. So nice addition there as well. So that's the shotgun. You also get the I'll say blade knife. It's sort of multi-purpose stabbing weapon. Sculpted plastic, this one. Silver paint applications to give it that metal look. Sculpted handle there, and the blade itself pops out. There's a reason for that, and that's why we have this piece. So you can do the old wavy shooting effect of the knife itself. This is metal, which is great to see, as with the sword. Really good to see. So that should, in theory, he said confidently, slot into the hilt there. And if you're wanting to attach the blade to the other end, I'm going to try and do this on camera. Not the easiest thing in the world, but the blade itself will slot onto the end there, so you can have him sort of firing the blade of the knife out if you're wanting to go for that look. I'm not a massive fan of that look. I think it's a bit Marmitey, this sort of wavy firing effect, and I'm not the world's biggest fan, but it's there if you want it, and great to see that they've used metal. So put that to one side. You get 5 stakes. They're all plastic, painted silver. Nicely done, very, very simple. You can either have them on his person or him holding one if you want, and you get 5 of those. You also get, obviously, the blade, the one that folds away, that then pops out. And they've done these in plastic Soosoo toys here, and I'm going to try and fold this out on camera. Sometimes they don't cooperate. That's quite nice smooth action there, and it feels quite sturdy. Sometimes these kind of things can feel a little bit on the frail side, but that's not an issue here. Paint applications are really nice to give it that metallic look. There is some shading on there. There's some dry brushing, some darker dry brushing and flecking to give it that authentic metal look, and that symbol in the middle as well. And you get 2 of those, which is a bonus as well. So what else do you get? That's the scabbard for the sword. You also get these 2 soft plastic cuffs. Now these are for the hands. Once you've got the gloved hands on, well, obviously you pop them on before you put the gloved hands on, and they will not only give the gloved hand a more realistic look flowing into the arm, but they'll also cover up that ugly wrist joint as well. So nice inclusion there from Soosoo. You get his glasses. Sculpted plastic, and I'm going to issue the usual warning here to all collectors. Broken record, I know, but exercise caution with sculpted plastic glasses, and metal ones as well for that matter. They can be frail, they can become brittle over time, and they do break easily. And once they've snapped, gluing them can be a ball ache, and getting replacements damn near impossible. But looks to me like they've captured the shape, the size, and the colour of Blade's glasses really, really well there. There's a nice shine to it, those lenses are nice and shiny, and overall pretty good job there. So that's the glasses. Let's take a look at this base before we look at the swap out head sculpt. Now this is pretty much a sort of standard issue design with Soosoo toys. I do recall this being the design that they've used for the Watchmen figures as well. But they have jazzed it up and given it that blade feel. You've got this sort of almost like a metallic floor look here with these sort of indented raised areas rather. You've got the blade symbol in the middle. It says blade across there, surrounded in silver. It's all sculpted plastic, this in 2 pieces. But the great thing here is the blood effect. I do like the fact that we've got the blade symbol in the middle there, but we've got these blood flecks, if the light's catching that, all over the top of the base itself and around the edges as well, this hexagonal base. So yeah, it's a reworking of what Soosoo toys normally give us, but I like what they've done here. The blacks, the silvers and the blood flecking look really good. And you get a standard issue crotch grabber, as always. So let's pop the base to one side. This is the second of the 2 head sculpts. We have the non-angry head sculpt already on the figure, but let's get this right into camera so we can take a look at what we've got here. Let's actually move this light over a little bit, shed a little bit more light on this head sculpt. Now, a little bit of fluff already getting on there, but straight away, this head sculpt I am very, very impressed with, I've got to say. For a third party, I think they've done a cracking job here. The skin tones, the skin textures. This was one of the reasons, one of the main deciders for me in getting this figure was not only that we've got the Trinity look, but they included this head sculpt as well. I have the original Hot Toys Blade 2 figure, and I've always wanted a shouty, angry head sculpt. And I think Soosoo Toys have done a cracking job here. Proportions are on point, unmistakably Wesley Snipes, unmistakably Blade. Skin tones and textures are really good. If the light is catching this, we have crow's feet under the eyes, very, very fine lines there. We've got some furrowing in the forehead there. The skin tones and textures I mentioned, really good. Creasing in the neck area there. The all-important neck tattoos have been caught really, really well, as has that hair. They captured that hair texture and colour really nicely, even down to that sort of that vein in the forehead there, which is sort of a trademark of Wesley Snipes. We've got that vein in the forehead too. The eyes are nice and glassy, they're the right colour. I would say if I had one criticism, I'm going to try and get this as close as possible, get the camera to focus here, is perhaps the eyes are a little bit matte in the coloured areas there. Perhaps not quite the depth that we'd see with, say, a Hot Toys or an in-art figure. But we've got to remember here, we're looking at a third party, and I think for a third party attempt at Wesley Snipes, I think they've done a cracking job here, particularly that mouth. The tongue inside there, the wet look, paint applications, the ivory feel to the teeth there, the 2 fangs sticking out, and the overall expression, yeah, cracking job there. Really, really liking this angry head sculpt. So there you have it, folks. That's the accessories. So without further ado, let's bring out Blade himself. Let's get him onto that stand, onto the turntable, and have a close-up look at him. So here he is, Blade out of the box, onto the stand and onto the turntable. Not done an awful lot with him here. All I've added are a couple of hands, obviously. Where would he be without his hands? We've attached the blade through the coat at the back, but we'll get to that. And I've stuck the sunglasses on him as well. But pretty much this is just how he comes straight out of the box. And first impressions, I've got to say, first impressions, very, very good indeed. I am suitably impressed. Proportions look on point. The outfit looks screen accurate. That head sculpt, well, we'll get to that, but I think that's just as good as the swap out one that we just looked at. And overall, straight out of the box, it looks like Soosoo Toys have really, really hit a home run here. I think it looks very, very good indeed. It looks phenomenal, in fact. But let's do as we always do. Let's stop him from spinning and get him off that stand and turntable and give him the once over. That coat I am really, really impressed with, but we will come to that. Let's get him off and get him up close. We'll start at the bottom as we always do and work our way up. We'll start with these boots. Now, sculpted plastic boots here, ankle boots. There's no split cut boot design here. The sculpt is pretty good and screen accurate, and as I mentioned, I'll be putting up stills so you can make your own decisions about that one. Yeah, it's perhaps not the best paint job in the world. It's pretty basic. We do have some tread on the bottom of the boots. and we've got sculpted in laces and sculpted in eyelets there. Yeah, it's a little on the basic side, but I think they've done a pretty good job. Could do with a bit of weathering, I think. That's probably the only real complaint here. Now, the articulation of these feet, obviously, because you've got an ankle boot going on there, the forward motion is a little bit on the limited side. There is a decent amount there, as you can see. You're going to get some. You are going to get some movement out of it, so it's not static, but yeah, overall pretty good. And obviously you've got the usual right and left movement as well there. Moving up, the pants themselves. Let's take a look at these pants now. These are done in a black cotton. Feels like a decent quality cotton. The fall is right, the fit is right, the finish is very good. The 6 scale stitch work straight away looks very good. There's no loose threads hanging down or anything like that. Yeah, overall, although like most black cotton, this kind of black cotton already you can see it's attracting dust and microfibers and things like that from my fingers and the environment, but he's going to need a clean on a regular basis. But it's got the stitched in knee pads there. Stitch work is really nice. If we lift the coat up, you see around the back here, you've got the back section of the knee pads are stitched in as well. There are faux pockets on the sides there. The groin area, yeah, around the waist, really nicely stitched. And overall, yeah, screen accuracy's there, the fit's there, and the finish is there. Let's check the articulation in the knees while we're here. You've got a ratchet joint going on at the knee there. It is a sturdy joint, and the body feels. It doesn't feel like the best in the world, let's put it that way, but it most certainly doesn't feel cheap. It feels like they've used a solid body here. Doesn't feel like there's any padding either underneath this figure, so they've matched the body type pretty well. Because I mean, as far as Wesley Snipes' physique goes, it looks like Soosoo Toys have nailed that on. So yeah, got a decent amount of. You're probably going to get his leg up to about there. I wouldn't want to push it any further than that. Doesn't feel like it'd be happy going any further than that. Do we have a swivel? Yeah, we've got a swivel there at the thigh. That's great to see. Love that. So many companies these days are just not putting in that thigh swivel, and it really does. For me, it damages the posing. It really limits the posing. With that thigh swivel there, you can get some really unique looks. So great to see Soosoo Toys have included that up to the where the legs meet the body, and you've got a decent amount of motion there. His legs will probably go to about that far apart. Obviously, you don't want to run the risk of damaging that stitching in the crotch area there. Forward and backward, yeah, there's a pretty decent range of motion as well. And you combine that with the swivel, you're going to be able to get some fairly dynamic poses out of this figure. Up to the belt. The belt is this nylon material, and you've got this plastic buckle as well, painted silver. The whole chest area here, I'm going to say this from the get-go, yes, it's good, but it's not entirely screen accurate, and I will pop up a couple of photos there. The texturing on this padding in the abdomen and chest area could be a little bit better, but we've got to remember we're working to a price point here, and I think the fact that Soosoo Toys have managed to do all this with leather and metal, and we will get to the leather shortly, is nothing short of a miracle. So yeah, the abdomen area itself, and let's check the articulation while we're here. We've got a decent amount of swivel. We've got a forward and backward going on as well. So yeah, you can articulate at the waist area. You've got, as I mentioned, these aren't entirely accurate, but you've got this plastic sort of abdomen and chest armor going on, which is nicely done. It's nicely sculpted and painted. Then you've got the strapping around the neck with that plastic, that sort of plastic to painted to look like metal buckle going on. And I do believe this strapping will actually come out. These can be taken out if you're wanting to go for the unharnessed look. So overall, yeah, I think pretty good. If screen accuracy is slightly off, but I'm not. I am not niggling over that, shall we say. Underneath that vest, you've got the crimson coloured shirt. Stitch work looks nice. It's made out of cotton. The colour looks screen accurate. And if you remove this overcoat, which we will do in the showcase at the end, you'll see all three different looks. You'll see the look without the overcoat, with the other jacket, and pretty much just with the crimson top on. But take my word for it, and check out the showcase at the end. That runs all the way down the arm here and is nicely tailored as well. But the real, I suppose, if we just ignore the rather marvellous head sculpt for a second, I think the really important thing with this figure is the fact that it's got a leather overcoat. Now, I own the Hot Toys Blade 2 figure, really like it, and the pleather overcoat by some miracle is still holding up today. But just to see a third party using leather, and this kind of quality leather in a figure is great to see. So you've got metal in the accessories and leather, and a leather overcoat as well. It's great. And then the screen accuracy looks on point to me. It falls really well. It's a soft leather. The graining is just about right as well to capture that 6 scale look. I would suspect this might be, rather than a cowhide leather, possibly a lamb's leather. It's very, very soft. But that's fine by me. The softer the better, really, because it lends itself to dynamic posing. And you've got wires in here as well. You've got a wire running all the way down the full front on both sides here, and all the way around the bottom as well. That is another great touch, I think, from Soosoo Toys to include that. Let's take a look at it all the way around now. Stitch work is great. The fall is fantastic. The graining can't be faulted. Loving the padding at the elbows there. That's screen accurate as well. And right the way up to the top here, where you've got that hole where the sheath for the blade goes. Now that actually slots through the harness. We'll see this later on in the showcase. There is a harness around the back here, which simply holds the sheath in place, and then you pop the sheath up through the hole in the back of the coat, and you can pop the blade in as well. And that works really well too. We're just going to lift his arms up here because there is a harness underneath here, and I have put in both guns. Now the harness itself, I believe, is leather as well, and as you can see, looks really, really good, and holds both guns very, very well. There's a cotton material and a sort of a nylon material in that overshirt and harness at the end, which goes into a leather as well at the top. I think the detailing here that Soosoo Toys have put into this figure is mightily impressive. The coat, you can see, is lined. Stitch work is excellent. It's that deep red, and it just works very, very well indeed. The harness behind the back to hold the blade in place, which we'll see later, does have a section which slots the sheath into. So very similar to the Hot Toys version. So it will keep that sheath flush to his back and not throw out the fall of the overcoat itself, which I think is really great. I keep banging on about this overcoat. Let's move on to the articulation. We've got a butterfly joint at the shoulder there, great to see. A ratchet at the elbow there. You'll get up to about there with that elbow. I haven't put the rubber clips on as of yet, and you can see without them there, without those plastic rather clips around the wrist area, it does look mighty ugly, so it's a great inclusion there, but we will pop those on before we go in for a final verdict. The collar as well isn't wide on this, but you can pop it up if you like the collar up look for your blade figures. I'm not awfully keen on that because you very rarely see it in the films. I prefer it down, but overall, yeah, very nicely done collar. The articulation in the arms is excellent as well. It could be a little better. I don't think you're going to get those arms. Oh yeah, they will. They'll go all the way up there. You can actually get them up to virtually to his face. That's about as far as that's going to go. But you can do that without fear of that overcoat falling to pieces and turning into a pile of dust. Okay, now the cherry on the cake. Let's take these glasses off and have a look at this. Without glasses. I'm going to drop him down here and get him in as close as I can here. Let's just hope the light does this justice. So the non-angry head sculpt, I think, is really, really good. Unmistakably Wesley Snipes there, unmistakably Blade. And as with the shouty head sculpt, you've got great skin tones and textures. You've got that pencil moustache and beard, which look great. Once again, you've got not quite as many crow's feet around the eyes here because his mouth's shut, so it's not accentuating that, but you've got the furrows in between the eyebrows there. The hair, once again, suitably well done, and you've got those tattoos as well. And I think this looks great. I think my only gripe is the eyes. There is just something ever so slightly off. Now I think this is down to the paint application. I don't think it's down to the sculpt. I think you pop these glasses on, and I'm going to do that again here so you can see this. I think I'm blown away with that with the sunglasses on, but when you get really close, let me know in the comment section below what you think. Is it just me, an old man who needs glasses himself? But just something, it's only a tiniest thing that's ever so slightly out with the eyes. And I think it's the paint applications on the coloured part of the eyes. I think they could have been a little bit more glassy. I think that's the only thing there. And it's probably me splitting hairs, but yeah, fixed neck head sculpt this, so relatively easy to swap out. Let's check the articulation. Yeah, you've got a full range of motion going on there, backwards and forwards, side to side. And the great thing is, if there is an ugly joint underneath there, it's covered up by that undershirt. So yeah, fantastic. Really liking this. So let's get him back on the stand. I think what we need to do is get this guy in a pose, get him in a different look, and go in for a final verdict. Okay folks, so it's verdict time on Soosoo Toys' take on Blade. Where to begin with this guy? I wanted to go with the iconic pose here with him planting the sword into the ground, but it's not the easiest thing in the world with this right arm. I'm going to have a little bit of practice in between takes and try and perfect that for the showcase at the end. And in the showcase at the end, as I mentioned before, you will be seeing all three looks. You'll be seeing him in jacket, seeing him in the overcoat, and seeing him without either of them. But yeah, verdict time. So where to begin? Let's start with the good stuff. Accessories, there's loads of them and they're really well done. Yes, maybe some of the sculpting and paint applications are not quite as HD as some of the high-end figure manufacturers would make them, but we're working to a price point here, and the quantity's there, the quality's there, and the accessories are great. And of real note is the metal in this sword, the beautiful leather overcoat, and of course the shouty angry head sculpt. I think this is phenomenal. Really great. Fantastic piece of work here from Soosoo Toys. So yeah, accessories on point. Liking the base a lot. I think it's great. The articulation nailed on. You can pretty much get whatever pose you want out of him bar planting the sword at the moment for me. So articulation is there. Screen accuracy is off in a few places, but it's not a deal breaker. As I mentioned before, you've got to remember the price point with this and the fact that it's a third-party figure. Overcoat, love it. Outfit, love it. The glasses, excellent. The only minor niggles I've got, as I mentioned before, is that maybe some softness in sculpt and paint applications, maybe the boots and things like that, and some of the weapons could be a little bit better painted. But really, that's a minor niggle. Probably the only other minor gripe I've got is the eyes, as I mentioned before, in this head sculpt. I think they could be ever so slightly better, but once again, I'm going to say it, third-party price point, and I think what Soosoo Toys have delivered here for the money is absolutely phenomenal. And as a Blade fan, I am so happy to have this in the collection. But how does it hold up against Hot Toys' classic Blade 2 figure from years ago? Well, we'll have to wait. You'll have to wait and see on that one, because we're going to do a head-to-head with the old guy on the block and the new guy on the block, and see how the two compare. Yes, it's apples and oranges because they're from two different movies, but what the hell, I feel like doing it anyway. But I think as a standalone piece, I think Soosoo Toys have given us a cracking Blade figure here. If you're a fan of the Blade franchise, if you're a fan of Wesley Snipes, if you're just a fan of 1/6 scale figures in general, I think you can't go wrong with this figure. I think it's a brilliant piece of work. Score out of 10. That's a tough one for this, because it's balancing out those minor niggles with the price point and the plus points here. On a good day, I could quite easily give this a 9. I think it is that good. But I'm going to go with an 8 today. I think just with a few extra touches here and there, this could have been an absolute classic. I think it's still a great figure, and I'm still really pleased to have it. But yeah, we're going to go with an 8 and a 9 on a good day. So there you have it, folks. Soosoo Toys' take on Wesley Snipes as Blade from Blade Trinity walks away with an 8. But what are your thoughts on this figure? Do you have it in your collection? Have you got it on pre-order? What are your thoughts on Soosoo Toys? What are your thoughts on Blade? What are your thoughts on the MCU? What are your thoughts on anything at all? Nothing is off menu as always, so please drop a comment in the comment section below. What have we got coming up on the channel? Well, there's plenty more 1/6 scale figure reviews. Next up for review on the channel, we are going to be looking at Infinity Studios' take on that enormous Jaeger from Pacific Rim, Gypsy Danger. Can't wait to get my hands on that figure, and it should be going up really, really soon. And I suppose all that remains for me to say, oh yeah, well, we'll be having loads more Hot Toys reviews, in art, Soosoo Toys, present toys, Caustic Plastic, X06, loads more reviews, previews, news and showcases and all that other stuff as well. So as I mentioned at the top there, be sure to mash that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you're not missing anything. And I suppose all that remains for me to say is from myself, and from Wesley Snipes as Blade from Blade Trinity, a massive thank you for watching as always, and until the next time on the channel, take care of yourselves, have a fantastic 2026, happy collecting, and it's over to the showcase.